Hey friends, and welcome to this new video dedicated to Garten of Banban 9. After a bit of silence, the developers are back on Discord and have given us some truly incredible news. In particular, FARIS has shared new messages and, even more exciting, has posted a new official image directly linked to Chapter 9. And today, throughout this video, we will dive together into all the secrets and all the information revealed so far. But before we start, I want to remind you of something very important. If you are a fan of Garten of Banban and don't want to miss any news, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. This way, you won't miss any updates on future chapters, leaks, hidden secrets, or the new theories. So get ready. We will talk about FARIS' messages, analyze the newly released image, and try to understand together what new mysteries and creatures await us in Chapter 9. Every detail could have meaning, every color, every symbol in the image could hide a crucial clue. And of course, I invite you to participate actively in the comments. Share your theories, your ideas, and everything you notice that's new. This video won't just be informative, it will be a real journey into the world of Garten of Banban, discovering what the developers are preparing for us. And now, get ready to discover all the details of the new chapter together. Now, let's talk about what FARIS officially shared on Discord. FARIS said if he should post a new leaks on Discord, he shared a new message and, shortly after, posted a really peculiar image. But be careful, because this image does not show a scene from the game as one might expect. At first, many fans thought it was a joke, something random with no real meaning. And we can understand them, because the image is really strange and a bit unsettling. But then FARIS intervened, clarifying that it is not a joke at all. On the contrary, he confirmed that this image will have a precise role or meaning within Chapter 9. So, even if at the moment it seems enigmatic or out of context, we can consider it officially connected to the game. The image in question shows butchered meat, a disturbing and quite unsettling scene which alone raises 1,000 questions. Why did FARIS choose to show us this? What will the meaning of this meat be? How will it connect to the story and events of Garten of Banban 9? For this reason, we can start making some initial reflections and theories. We could speculate that this meat could be related to a new character or a new gameplay mechanic. Others think it might represent a deeper symbol, a clue about what will happen in the story or what is hidden in the corridors of Garten of Banban 9. In any case, FARIS' message and this image confirm one fundamental thing. Chapter 9 will be darker and more mysterious than ever. Every detail, even the strangest or most unsettling, could have a hidden meaning that we will discover only by playing. In the next part of the video, we will focus on the theories and hypotheses connected to this image, trying to understand together what role it might have in Chapter 9 and what it could mean for the story and the new events that await us. Now let's get to the heart of the matter and talk in more detail about this image. Let's analyze it together and try to understand why it could be connected to Garten of Banban 9. As we can clearly see, the image shows a series of pieces of butchered meat, a disturbing and quite peculiar detail, which immediately makes us think, why did FARIS decide to show us this exactly? What could its meaning be within the new chapter? The first theory we can consider concerns a new area in the game. In Chapter 9, there could be a completely new zone connected to a butcher shop, maybe an industrial butcher area, or a similar place where materials or mascots in the game are processed. However, some questions immediately arise. Why would the mascots of Garten of Banban have a butcher shop? And especially since they don't have farm animals in the game, what should they be butchering? This reflection leads us to think that perhaps the area will be similar to a butcher shop, but the meat we see in the image could be symbolic or replaced with something else in the actual game. It could be a horror element or a clue about a new mechanic without being literal butchered meat. The second theory, on the other hand, concerns a possible new character. The image could suggest the arrival of a mascot inspired by a butcher. I say similar because, as in the previous theory, we can't think of a mascot literally butchering real meat. However, looking at the previous mascots of Garten of Banban, we notice a very clear pattern. Many of them are based on jobs or roles that humans perform. For example, we have Syringion, inspired by a surgeon; Sheriff Toadster, a sheriff; Bitter Giggle, a jester; Brushista, a painter and artist. So, based on this pattern, it wouldn't be surprising if Chapter 9 introduced a mascot that resembles a butcher, with creepy or exaggerated features, perfect for the horror atmosphere of the game. The meat in the image could then be a clue about what this new mascot will represent, or its role within the story. In conclusion, this image opens up two main possibilities: a new butcher-themed area, or a new character inspired by a butcher. Of course, since FARIS is very skilled at leaving cryptic clues, it could be both, or maybe something completely different, which we will only discover by playing Chapter 9. In the next part of the video, we will continue to dig into the details of this image and see other fan theories and hypotheses, trying to connect them to what we know so far about Chapter 9. Now, let's move on to another theory, which is perhaps one of the most disturbing but also fascinating, related to this image. The fact that we see butchered meat might not be literal, but a metaphorical clue about Garten of Banban 9. What does this mean? Well, it doesn't necessarily mean we will find a butcher shop or a new character inspired by a butcher. It could instead be something much more sinister and disturbing. The meat could represent the fate of one of the characters. Imagine this possibility. During Chapter 9, we might face an antagonist or a new mascot, or even a character we already know from previous chapters. And the fact that meat is present in the image could suggest that this character will meet a terrible fate, a gruesome end that resembles the process of butchered meat. Maybe, once defeated or captured, the character will fall into a machine similar to the industrial ones used in butcheries. Here they will undergo a horrific treatment, similar to the meat we see in the image, an event that could represent one of the darkest and most dramatic scenes of Chapter 9. Of course, it would be a terrible end for this character, and we might all be shocked. But we have to remember that Garten of Banban is a horror series. It's normal for there to be extremely disturbing, surprising, and frightening situations. Tension and fear are part of the game experience, and FARIS knows exactly how to leave cryptic clues that increase the mystery without revealing too much. So, if this theory turns out to be true, the butchered meat would be nothing more than a symbol of the cruel fate awaiting one of the characters in Chapter 9. A perfect way to prepare players for an even more intense and terrifying experience. In the next part of the video, we will look at even more possible interpretations of the image, connecting them to previous events in the game and other clues released by the developers. Get ready, because the more we analyze the image, the more details emerge that could completely change our expectations for Chapter 9. And now we reached the end of the video. We talked about FARIS's official messages on Discord, the new image linked to Chapter 9, and how at first many people thought it was a joke. We analyzed together the image of the butchered meat and explored different theories. It could indicate a new area with a butcher theme, a new character inspired by a butcher, or even a gruesome fate for one of the characters, typical of the horror atmosphere of Garten of Banban. In short, Chapter 9 promises to be full of mysteries, plot twists, and lots of creepy details to discover. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a big like and subscribe to the channel so you can stay updated on all the news and secrets of Garten of Banban. Thank you so much for watching this video until the end, friends. See you in the next video. Bye bye, and see you soon.